What is up, my Squirtleites? It is I, your king, welcoming you back to more Let's Play Destiny. In the last episode, we finished off the last of the Nightmare Hunts, and now all that remains for this campaign, aside from the raid that we're obviously not going to be doing, at least in this portion of the Let's Play, is the dungeon, Pit of Heresy, which we're going to be soloing today. Now, I am back on my main account, much like I was for the Shattered Throne dungeon run. But before we jump on into this dungeon, which is going to be a multi-episode affair, as was the last one, let's take a look at my build really quickly. So I'm running with Le Monarque, very simple, very standard, very useful. I tend to use this in most really high-end solo content, and this is no exception. So we're going to be using this here. I have my Wastelander M5, again, typically pair with my Le Monarque just because it is so good at short ranges. It's got Trench Barrel, works really well with Arc Strider in general. And then I actually have a sword for this particular activity, Falling Guillotine, which is a vortex frame, meaning you spin around for the heavy attack. It's also got Whirlwind Blade and Relentless Strikes together. It's a pretty strong sword, not the strongest in the game anymore, but it certainly was for a considerable amount of time after this sword came out, and it's still really, really good and is going to be very useful for multiple reasons in this dungeon. But now let's take a look at my armor really quickly. So I've still got my whole Powerful Friends, Radiant Light thing going on. I've got Font of Might, I've got Elemental Armaments, and I don't actually have any combat mods on my cloak because I'm running with Solo Operative, Distribution for quicker ability cooldowns, this so I can do more damage, and then a little bit of minor strength just so that I can round out my stats a little bit better here. Now, the key to this whole entire build is Liar's Handshake. Liar's Handshake is an exotic that allows you to do extra damage with follow-up melee hits. On top of that, powerful melee hit will also heal you. This, in combination with Combination Blow, means that you will heal instantly whenever you get the follow-up hit here. This is going to be really nice because we are going to be relying on close-range builds quite a lot. Not for the entire dungeon run, but for certainly for most of it. I would say about 2/3 of this dungeon, we're going to be relying on this build. I will be switching things up at a couple of points a little bit later on. So, let's begin. We're just going through the first encounter in today's episode. As we head on down, we'll worry about all the future encounters in other episodes. I'm not going to necessarily do an episode per encounter, as I didn't with Shattered Throne, but it is going to be mostly split up, I would say pretty evenly over the course of these episodes. Now, I'm still getting kind of used to this because this is technically the first dungeon run I'm actually recording in my recording order. Not necessarily in the order that you guys are seeing it, but that's because I can't do the Shattered Throne dungeon run until I wait a few more weeks and get everything else in the Dreaming City done. The way this whole recording thing kind of worked out makes that a little bit silly. But as for Pit of Heresy, I have never actually solo flawless this dungeon. I've soloed it, I've flawlessed it with a group, but I've never done both together. And I'm going to certainly be shooting for that today, but I don't know if it's necessarily going to work, because this dungeon has a few things that require, 1, lots of patience, and 2, lots of luck. When I say luck, I mean just not having absolute stupidity go wrong that can totally derail your run and just kill you in an instant. Because there are a few insta-kill things in here that are not fun. So Pit of Heresy was the first dungeon to implement raid banners, and every single dungeon after the fact has these active now. Make sure you pick those up before you do any runs like this. So, first encounter, let's explain how this works. There are 3 disciples of the Broken Blades that need to be killed throughout this main area. Each of them is at a corresponding tower, not this first one here, though, with the A symbol. They are at any of the other numbers of towers. What you need to do is you need to get a sword and take all 3 of them down in various ways. This is kind of an introduction to how you're going to have to deal with them later on in the dungeon. What we're going to do is we're going to start by heading on down to the A symbol tower. There is going to be a sword bearer that we're going to have to kill and take its sword. On top of that, there's going to be some enemies around there, and it's just going to kind of show how this entire encounter works. So, let's jump on down there, kill some enemies, and get this thing going. Be going all over all of the symbols today as well, which I have my own names for. Obviously, you can make up your own if you so desire, but it is kind of a personal preference, and I'll just give my examples today. So I'm just going to Le Monarque this Pit Keeper down. Only the Pit Keeper needs to be killed to get the door open in each of these towers, but you can still kill all the others if you so desire, so that you don't, run out of here on like low health or something and then just come to a waiting crowd of acolytes or something along those lines. So there's the Sword Bearer, the Accursed Sword Bearer. Up there are our 3 symbols we need to watch out for. I call that one burger, that one X, and that one I call squid. Octopus, alien, whatever you want to call it. That one I tend to call squid. So we are going to be going after each of those. We don't have to go after them in order, though. They're just the 3 that we need to hit. And we're just going to go after them in whatever's most convenient. So we're going to take this sword, if I can land my freaking headshots here. My goodness. And we're going to head on out. So, looks like, burger X and squid. When I head out this way, I'm going to need to look for where to go. So squid is the highest up. Burger is all the way down there, and I do believe X is like directly below us. So it looks like squid is going to be the most simple for us to go after. Now, do be aware there are lots of enemies staged on the catwalks that are especially going to give you trouble if you're just running around with a sword. Now, the sword has 3 different modes of attack. It has a light attack / a heavy attack ranged projectile, and a guard, which you do with L2. These are all necessary for doing the damage that you're going to want to be doing against each of the different disciples. Now, I am going to try to slash my way to victory here as I run up through here. I wish I had amplified there so I could have sprinted a lot faster, but we're fine. Now, I'm going to take the sword all the way up here, and once I get up to the top here, actually, I'm going to use that on the Pit Keeper just to kill him as fast as we can. And let's get this door open. So, first one we have in here is the Wizard. Now, the Wizard is a little bit tricksy because it's going to have 2 Wizard companions running around with it. I'm going to kill them as quickly as I can with my heavy weapon. And we're just going to kind of hide for a moment, get my health back. Now we can isolate the Wizard and start doing damage. So the way this works is simple. You need to use your ranged attacks to hit the Wizard. But the thing is that the Wizard is going to continuously move around and fire at you. You want to use your shield to protect yourself from the damage. Don't be afraid to spam every once in a while. You can try to stun lock it. Do be careful, though, that when it's firing at you, you do not want to move around too much unless you're absolutely in dire straits like I almost was right there. Because, here's the thing. That Wizard attack, if I can almost kill you, there we go. The Wizard's arc attack, if it hits you directly, it'll bounce off the shield. But if it lands at your feet, it has a little bit of splash damage that can still absolutely hurt you. So if you start backpedaling, the arc shot will actually start to hit your feet and continue to do more damage. So don't do that if you're incredibly low on health. Now, as for the rest of this sword, I'm actually going to waste all of its ammo here because I want it to despawn. Because once you get rid of the one sword that's in play, more accursed sword bearers will begin to spawn. So now I'm going to start taking out all of the enemies here. Let's get them with a headshot. Start doing some damage here. Killing all these guys so we can make our path a little bit easier. The ogres are the ones you're going to want to watch out for the absolute most. Trust me when I say that. Can I get you without... Oh, no, you teleported back up here, I think, didn't you? Probably on a different section of the catwalk, but... Anyway, yeah, ogres are the ones you're going to want to watch out for the most. Make sure that you are very careful when dealing with them. They can absolutely mess you up. So just keep chunking them down until they're gone. Luckily, none of these enemies really respawn. Now, X. Where is the X tower? It is actually straight ahead, but we're going to need to use these elevators to get our way over to it. So, I'm going to use this elevator, and what I'm going to want to do is jump right before it ends, and that will actually give me momentum to make it all the way up here. Now we can continue. So there is our accursed sword bearer. This is the guy I am going to kill here. And I'm going to use cross counter to get a little extra damage in there. We also get trench barrel out of that. Those two things in synchronicity are incredibly strong. So X, I think, is the one we're at right now. It might be A. No, it is A. Okay. And you can always go back to that accursed sword bearer if you so desire. Okay, there's the tower I need. All right, I'm just going to kind of use that to not fall to my death here as I kind of land right here. Stop my momentum. Now, once I get here, let's drop the sword. Start killing everything in here as fast as we can. That cross counter damage is going to help me out a lot. There we go. Oh, that was a bad grenade throw. Really bad. I want to hurry and pick my sword back up before it uses too much ammo, but that should kill that acolyte. Okay, let's kill this guy really quickly. We have 72 rounds to work with. This one right here. Okay, this one is a fun one. So actually, what I'm going to want to do is I want to focus on the ogres and kill them as quickly as possible. Now, doing this one, the ogres themselves really can't hurt you, but they can mess you up big time. So this Shrieker is going to be firing at you continuously. What you want to do is you want to use the sword to guard and deflect the Shrieker's shots back at it. Now, why did I kill the ogres? It's because the recoil and flinch that they cause by shooting you can really mess up your aim. So you're going to want to try to get rid of those guys as quickly as possible. Now, with this last bit of sword in tow, we should have enough to take care of the last one. So now Burger's back over that way. I didn't want to go to that one second for the simple fact that it is really obnoxious. And I'm going to swipe. That ogre is shooting at me. Frickin' anti-air ogre over here. Keep going. Keep going. I think I can make it. The good news is I have the supercharged sword ability, so that'll actually help me quite a bit on this guy, but I'm going to try to make my way all the way over there. You know what? I might just have to do it like this, actually, if I'm going to be completely honest here. Where did you go? There you are. All right, let's kill this guy like that. There we go. All right, I'm hoping I can get enough out of my sword here to make this happen, but it's going to be tricky. I'll throw a grenade there, and hopefully they'll all walk into that. Almost. Come on. Oh, gosh, you guys have just a little bit too much health that it actually gets annoying. So I might not have enough ammo to do this. I will certainly try, but it's going to be tough. So one of these rooms is always randomly dark. It doesn't necessarily have to be this one, but one of them always is. Now, this one is going to have a bunch of thrall and this guy right here, the big knight here. The knight is the focus. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to kite all of them around. Where's the knight at? There he is. All right, let's do the super. Kill all of his minions around him. It doesn't even use ammo. And now I can demonstrate how this works. So what you want to do is you want to parry, slash, slash, parry, slash, slash, parry, slash, slash, and just kind of do this ad nauseum because he can't hurt you while you're guarding. I'm saying parry, but it's a guard, essentially. And then just slash, slash, and there we go. That is the last of the disciples of the Broken Blade. So now all we need to do is finish this area, and we need to do that by heading to where the green light is shining out of. That is the tower that is our destination, and is the other reason I went to this one very, very last. And once we get this done, we can call this an encounter. Now, it looks like we might have enough time to actually do the next encounter in this episode, but it's going to be tough. So let me drop a grenade in there and kill all of those. Get out of here. There are so many enemies. Come on, poison damage. Thank you. And this is why I love Laymanarch, is for that extra bit of healing as well. So nice to have. Kill all these acolytes. There are so many freaking ogres. My goodness. I'm going to kill that sniper over there before he causes me too much trouble. We just need to fight our way to the end. Oh my gosh, there's a third one. Holy crap. Or is there? Maybe there's not. No, there's just this guy, the pit keeper, who's really the focus here because we need to get that door open. But the way is now open. So let's head on through. And I do believe we can just go on through the door. And there it is. That's the first encounter done. And with that, you get a drop. I got myself a Dreambane cloak. And the armor that drops in this dungeon, much like in the Shattered Throne, gives you higher stats. Obviously, it's a cloak, so we can't see that for ourselves. But if I'm going to get, like, arms or the helmet or anything, they tend to have higher stats. All right, let's continue. So, we're going to want to head on in through here. There seems to be a whole bunch of doors. Don't try the doors. They are going to kill you. You see that little opening down there where the light is green? That is where we need to head. So let's go. Now, I am actually going to do a subclass swap here really quickly. And actually, I also want to make a small adjustment. I'm not going to change any stats around, but I'm going to make a small adjustment just so that I have another way of regenerating health for this. But here we go. So I'm going to keep my sword, and the sword is going to be integral for this part. So, this next encounter. Ooh, this is a fun one. And also one that you have to get lucky at. Otherwise, you're going to struggle a lot. Invisibility is really nice for this. Having really high mobility, really nice for this. Welcome to the pit. In the pit, there are going to be a few big ogres that are going to spawn. That was really careless. Big ogres that are going to spawn. We need to open 3 doors within the pit. Now, you see these right here, these little doorways. These are our safe zones, but they're also where we're going to have enemies spawn in. That rumbling right there tells us the ogres are here. So, we're going to want to dive on inside. and start making our way through what is effectively a maze. So I am going to make my way over here, open this up, and we are looking for knights. The knights are going to be carrying these big orbs that we really, really want to get. So I'm going to slash and kill him. We got a void charge. Let me drop that. That is probably not the grenade I want, but oh well, it'll work. Take this void charge, and what you're going to want to do is you are going to want to carry it all the way to one of the 3 doorways. Is he there? Yes, he is. Okay, pick that up. I'm going to go invis here and try to sneak past him. Perfect. These ogres will absolutely chase you around the arena. They will shoot at you. They will try to slam, do a boss slam on you. They are going to be relentless, but there are plenty of places they cannot reach, like all the way to these doors. They can get close, they can get very close, and they can absolutely try to hunt you down over here, but they usually have their limits where they can only go so far. So there was the first one I wanted to get rid of. And actually, if I can... Oh gosh, oh gosh, oh gosh, oh gosh. Hide. There we go. This is why I had my dodge there, is so I could do that. And this is why we have Le Monarch, so I can get Unrelenting going and heal myself. Thank you. I need all of the healing in the world at the moment. Oh, come on, help me out. Thank you. All right, let's kill this Heretical Knight. We've already gotten the door on the far right of this area. Now we need to head towards the middle door, and this one is over this way. Now, you can punch your way through these doors if you're quick. So I'm going to do that really quickly. Head on over here. This is the middle door. Let's get this thing open. And we're going to want to remember where this one is because we got to circle back to it once all is said and done. So let me open that up. Here is our last knight. I am going to drop a grenade there. There we go. Kill him. That might be an issue, so let me kill all these guys. There is actually a 4th knight in here. I know I've gotten all 3, but there is a 4th one just in case by some chance you do lose yourself the void charge or something along those lines, so keep that in mind. I'm not going to use my invisibility here. Actually, I can use this invisibility, and I only want to do that so I can use that to get out the door, but I want to save my regular one for the boss. Now the ogre, excuse me. The ogre is running around here somewhere. Looks like he's probably behind me on the catwalk, so I think we should be good. All right, let's deposit this, and that ends the encounter. Now, really quickly, I am going to loop back around now that all the doors are open. Okay, that's not fair, you frickin' jerk. Respawning. I don't like that at all. That is some absolute horse crap. All right, I'm going to head back into this room because I'm making my way back towards the middle door. And eventually the ogres are going to retreat, so just kind of be patient here. I'm willing to use my supers if need be, but I want to... Oh, he's right outside the door, isn't he? Yeah, they all seem to have spawned right at the doors. Okay, this is going to be fun. So I'm going to use my invisibility to try to get into the room, because I think that's what triggers them despawning. So really quickly, let me do that and head on in. And I'm going to go to about right here. Okay, ogres flee.